Hey, it's Megan. Grab your coffee and let's have a combo. Hey, it's Megan. Grab your coffee and let's have a combo. Welcome back. Last week, we talked about what the microbiome is and why perimenopause is wreaking havoc on your gut. The hormone changes, the vaginal microbiome shifts, why you're suddenly bloated when you were never before. Today, we're getting into the good stuff, what you can actually do about it. What should you eat? What about probiotics? And my exact protocol for when you need antibiotics. Let's dive in. After we make sure we aren't carpet bombing any of our biomes and are taking care of our oral health, where do we go next? The most obvious place is what we are feeding our guts. The first thing we must talk about, which I mentioned last week, is fiber. There are so many types of fiber. The bigger categories are soluble, meaning it dissolves in water, and insoluble, which does not dissolve in water and instead adds bulk. Most fibrous food is made of a combination of the two. Your gut lining is a very thin tube with several layers. One of them is a mucosal layer. The soluble fiber helps to create a gel that supports the mucous lining of the gut, and the insoluble fiber acts more like a brush, cleaning the gut and stimulating the production of the mucus lining. If you don't eat enough fiber, the little friends in your gut get hungry and start snacking on the mucus lining of your gut, which can lead to problems with the integrity of the barrier, i.e., leaky gut. So, to help feed our friends, remember they are making vitamins for us, supporting our immune system, helping to break down and digest foods. We need them. We want to give them what they want, yummy fiber. Plant foods in general help feed the microbiome, and beyond fiber, they provide vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, polyphenols, and flavonoids that keep your gut healthy. Rather than getting bogged down by the nitty gritty of the types of fiber and what each plant food provides from a vitamin and nutrient perspective, I think it's easier to remember that most plant food is made of a combination of fibers and different vitamins and minerals. So, the easiest way to get enough of everything you need is to eat a wide variety of plant based foods. Here are some standouts to include if you tolerate them: beans, legumes, and lentils. These are fiber packed. Like I mentioned earlier, 1 cup of canned black beans has 18 grams of fiber. You know exactly where I'm going with this. Fiber with protein is the secret weapon to stabilize your blood sugar and keep yourself full and satisfied. This includes all types, any color of lentil, any variety of beans, soybeans or edamames, dips like hummus, fun snacks like flavored lupini beans. You can make dips out of them, make brownies and cookie dough out of them. I'll link my favorite recipes down below, or blend them together in soups to make a creamier texture. They are great additions to salads, tacos, meal bowls, and many sauteed dishes. Dark leafy greens, kale, collard, spinach, lettuce, beets, turnip greens, bok choy. Some of these have great fiber, but they also are powerhouses of nutrients. You can throw them in frozen in smoothies or add them to dishes like pasta sauces and stir fries, and you can add them to salads or just use them for pestos or sauces or throw them in a soup and even meatballs. Polyphenols. These are the dark colored pigments that you find in dark chocolate from the cacao, coffee, berries, pomegranates, cherries, cloves, red onions, plums, grapes, many nuts and seeds, and olive oil, as well as soy products. Many probiotic companies make a companion product with polyphenols to help feed the probiotics. Nuts and seeds. Many of these have a lot of fiber for their size, healthy fats, and a little protein, and are excellent snacks and dish toppers. You can throw them on a salad, add them to smoothies, finish off soups or stews, or have them as a standalone snack or mix them with each other. They add a nice little crunch to yogurt or acai bowls, and chia pudding is one of my favorite breakfasts. Fruits. Low glycemic fruits are great microbiome supports here. Berries, apples, pears, kiwis, citrus fruits. Fresh or frozen, they have fiber and lots of nutrients necessary for your gut. Figs, dates, and prunes and other dried fruits can be used to treat constipation. The thing to consider is that these are also likely to bump up your blood sugar. That may not be an issue for you, but if you are insulin resistant, have blood sugar issues like crashes all day long, or get hangry, then they may not be the best food for you in this moment. The same with higher sugar fruits like mangoes and pineapples. They are delicious and wonderful, but if you have blood sugar issues, they are probably better in small servings with food friends like proteins and fats. Veggies. All of the veggies you eat fill in here. I think we all get stuck in the rut of habit of convenience. I know that I'm absolutely guilty of this. It's so easy to just make green beans, broccoli, potatoes, carrots, and salad with cucumbers every week. There is a whole world of vegetables out there, and they all offer slightly different sets of fibers and nutrients for your microbiome. I know preparation can be scary, but the internet is full of recipes and videos for how to cook any vegetable that you can find. Try a new one the next time you go to the supermarket. Stop by a grocery store that has a different set of vegetables than you're normally used to. Fermented foods. These don't have a ton of fiber per se, but the fermentation process is caused by growing bacteria, which our guts like. There was a really interesting small trial done at Stanford looking at higher fiber diet versus fermented foods for changing the microbiome. And the fermented foods change the microbiome more than the fibrous foods. If you like and can tolerate them, a few servings a day can be a great addition to your gut health routine. I know people will ask for numbers. So when I'm working with clients, I tell them to aim for 40 different plant foods a week. This sounds like a lot, but that includes your tea, your coffee, nuts, seeds, vegetables, fruits, spices, herbs, beans, legumes, and lentils. You're probably getting 15 to 20 with no effort at all. Put a sprinkle of cinnamon in your coffee, that's two. If you have some almonds and pumpkin seeds on your chia seed pudding with mixed berries, that's six. If you keep track for a week or two, you'll get a feel for what it's like, and then you can switch up your shopping list to have more things in the rotation. Easy ways to add more are using frozen vegetables and fruits that you can add to your dishes, buying a few nuts or seeds that you like to sprinkle on top of dishes, and then adding a few spices or herbs to your pantry or trying some new tea. Quick pause. If you're finding this helpful, would you share this episode with one friend who's struggling with bloating, energy crashes, or mysterious symptoms her doctor keeps dismissing? Screenshot this episode, send it to her way, and tell her your gut might have answers. Helping women understand that they're not crazy and perimenopause is real is exactly why I do this work. Okay, back to it. What do we not want to give our guts? This is an interesting question. So, things that we know can lead to less diversity and potential overgrowth of microbes that can lead to poor gut health are overconsumption of sugar, overconsumption of processed foods, overconsumption of alcohol, overconsumption of artificial sweeteners. I say overconsumption because I don't want to demonize any of these food groups, and each person's tolerance and resilience is different. I have worked with clients who can drink lots of diet soda and they don't seem to experience any changes. Others have diet soda and it causes cravings and they have a really hard time sticking to their food goals. I personally am someone who cannot have a lot of added sugar. I have dealt with so many candida issues in the past, and added sugar is a very big trigger for me, especially if I'm stressed or sleep deprived. Once you've had chronic yeast infection, the consequences of too much sugar are so high that for me, the switch was very hard at the beginning, and now it's not a problem. I have very few sugar cravings, and when I do get them, I know I'm stressed, I'm tired, or my cycle is off from previous stress and sleep problems. Some people can use processed foods in their diet and it helps them to reach their goals. But I don't think it's fair to put protein bars or grass fed meat sticks in the same category as an Oreo. And hey, if Oreos are your thing and you feel stellar, keep on trucking, my friend. But if you are still here, chances are there's something going on in your body that makes you wonder if your gut is playing a role. This is where some self experimentation comes in. What are the big things that you consume a lot of? Perhaps once you finish the current box, you can try not buying whatever it is at the store next week. Pay attention to how your body feels. Is your mood different? Your digestion? How about your sleep? How's your skin? Sometimes these things are dose dependent. You might be able to have one drink a week and that's fine, but two or three gives you issues. The next things that affect the microbiome are sleep, stress, and hormone changes. Lack of sleep decreases the diversity of microbes in our gut, which can lead to opportunistic bacteria getting more real estate. It can also lead to inflammation, and the normal cleaning process that happens to the gut during your sleep can't take place. Stress also decreases the diversity of the microbiome. It can affect motility, which can also lead to opportunistic bacteria taking up more real estate. Both of these can affect metabolism and insulin resistance. Hormone changes, like perimenopause, also decrease microbiome diversity. Estrogen and progesterone play a role in motility, the diversity of the microbiome, estrogen recycling, and inflammation. The vaginal microbiome also changes during perimenopause, making it less diverse and more susceptible to infection. Okay, antibiotics. So you have no choice. You need to take the antibiotics. What do? There's lots of practitioners who have different protocols, and a lot of them work. This is mine. I use Saccharomyces boulardii during antibiotic usage. These guys are placeholders. They are transient, meaning they don't take up permanent residence, but they do hold space, so opportunistic bacteria who evade the antibiotics can't start taking up real estate unchecked. After the antibiotics and a month of Saccharomyces, is everything back to normal and functioning? Great. You win and can pass go and collect $200. If not, mild issues that might be still annoying, like gas, bloating that you never used to have, some changes to your bowel movements, using a probiotic could be beneficial. There are a lot of brands out there, so you want to make sure that they have tested their products and it does what it says it's going to do, and that you want to look for something that is third party tested, meaning someone who doesn't work for the company is running the test. And you want to make sure that it addresses whatever issues you're having. I like the brands Pendulum, Microbiome Labs, and Seed. Pendulum is Akkermansia focused, which has metabolic effects and also addresses gas, bloating, and digestion. Microbiome Labs is a spore based probiotic with a lot of their own trials, and they address lots of GI complaints. Seed uses a probiotic and a prebiotic combo with trials looking at IBS. If you have disruptions a month or so after the antibiotic, you may want to use a product that repairs the lining. That could be useful. This is also when working with a practitioner can make a world of difference. You are an expert in your body, but if you've never had gut issues or disruptions, some guidance and advice can be the difference between success and a Reddit rabbit hole. Food. This is not the time for comfort food. As your microbiome is reseeding, you want to feed it with the foods that will feed the bacteria you want. Whole foods, very little sugar, and minimal processed foods. Variety, polyphenols, and probiotic rich foods, fermented foods if you can tolerate them. Should all perimenopausal women be taking probiotics? I don't think everyone needs to take probiotics. That said, I think paying attention to your gut health and noticing signs of gut issues that don't show up in traditional gut symptoms like gas, bloating, constipation, or loose stools. A dysbiotic gut can also influence inflammation, brain fog, cravings, and weight gain. Perimenopause means we need to be more mindful of our gut health. Start with what you're putting into it. Then look at the things that you may need to have less of. How is your sleep? How is your stress? Are you moving your body? All of those are playing a role in your gut health. Are you over sanitizing your life? Exposure to dirt, trees, and nature in general, as well as not unnecessarily killing any of our microbiomes that are helpful for us, is really important for overall gut health. Are you dealing with something you think could be gut related and tired of all of these things? Then it might be time to get some practitioner support. The world is full of supplements that claim to do a million things. Remember that supplements are not regulated like medications, so not all claims are accurate and they don't need research and trials like medications do. Before you spend $500 on supplements that you are unsure of, reach out to a CNS or another practitioner that can guide you through this process. If you're wondering whether your symptoms are actually gut related, my lab review service can help you understand what's really going on. We'll look at your blood work together and I'll help you see the connections that your doctor might miss, like how your iron levels connect to your gut health or why your thyroid is struggling. You can find the link in the show notes. If you're not sure if what you're experiencing is perimenopause, your gut, or something else entirely, my perimenopause symptom decoder quiz helps you identify your unique perimenopause pattern so you know exactly where to start. It's free and it takes about 3 minutes. You can also find that link in the show notes. Let me be real with you about the timelines because I think this is where a lot of people get discouraged. Gut healing is not a 2-week fix. If you've been dealing with dysbiosis, inflammation, or leaky gut for months or years, you need to give your body time to heal. I generally tell clients to expect 3 to 6 months of consistent changes before they see significant improvements. Some things like reducing bloating or improving energy might happen faster within a few weeks, but deep gut healing, rebuilding diversity, repairing the lining, that takes time. And in perimenopause, it might take a little longer because you're fighting against fluctuating hormones. Your estrogen drops, your gut gets disrupted, your estrogen spikes for a bit, things improve, then it drops again. It's not linear. So give yourself grace and stay consistent with the basics: the fiber, the variety, the sleep, the stress management. Small changes compound over time. Here are some quick wins that you can focus on this week. Ditch the antimicrobial mouthwash. Add 1 fermented food to your week. Count your plant foods for a week and then add 5 more the following week. Your gut isn't broken. Your perimenopause isn't in your head. And small, consistent changes really do add up. Take one thing from today's episode and try it this week. Your microbiome and your whole body will thank you. Can you do me a favor? If this was helpful, share it with one person who might need to hear it today. Our bodies didn't come with a user manual, and this perimenopause thing can feel confusing and lonely. But you're not alone. You're not crazy. and you're definitely not broken. And maybe someone in your life needs that reminder too. Let's spread the word and be kind to each other and ourselves. Now the legal bit. I'm a nutritionist, but I'm not your nutritionist. This podcast is for information and education only. No client relationship was formed. Always seek medical advice when necessary. I'll see you next Wednesday morning.